The Nuggets in Atlanta. Could they bounce back from an embarrassing loss against the Wizards? Let's find out. You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. Let's get it. Hey everyone, let's talk sound quality. Imagine having pro-level audio that's easy to set up, flexible, and sounds incredible. That's the Røde Pod Mic USB. It's got both USB and XLR connections, so whether you're recording solo at home or in a full studio setup, you're covered. And get this, the built-in DSP effects let you adjust the sound with zero lag. You get that deep, smooth broadcast tone right out of the box. It's versatile, powerful, and basically makes your voice sound like pure gold. How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. So last night we had a very embarrassing game loss against the Washington Wizards, who had gone on a 16-game losing streak, only winning against one team, the Atlanta Hawks, who have now been on a 6-game winning streak until tonight when they faced the Denver Nuggets, and we kind of gave them a little bit of embarrassment themselves. Kind of a trending thing here. So the Nuggets won tonight against the Atlanta Hawks, 141 to 111. That's such a great comeback win. Feels good to have that. I'm not sold, but we're getting there. It's a healing process, and if they can be a little consistent, we'll see how it turns out from here. But this was a good start. This was a great start, and we'll get into it here. So my first takes. So the Nuggets were in white jerseys, the Atlanta Hawks in black and red. And for one thing, I don't really have much beef against the Atlanta Hawks. I actually dig the Atlanta Hawks. I wouldn't say I love the Atlanta Hawks. I wouldn't say I hate the Atlanta Hawks, but I do dig them, mainly because of the bond that is being created from Dikembe Mutombo. So ever since he went to the Atlanta Hawks, I started paying more attention to them and everything, and I appreciate that they are definitely well connected with Mutombo, or what were, and just as much as Denver was. So we have that in common, and they've always just been kind of a fun team to be playing basketball with. I don't feel like there's any really bad blood between the two teams, so it's nice to play them. Sometimes you just got to get your aggression out on the wrong people, and that's what happened tonight. So sorry, Atlanta, if Nuggets embarrassed you a little bit tonight, but you did get a 6-game winning streak, and it seemed like you guys were tired. It didn't really seem like you guys had the same fire that you had the last 6 games. So we'll give that to point up there. So the Nuggets starters tonight were CB, Jokić, MPJ, Brody, and AG is back. And this kind of proved my point from last game, that they sat him out hoping or assuming they were going to win against the Wizards. And now that they didn't, and they had that embarrassing loss, they had to call him back to come back in this game. And I mean, even a hurt AG is still a helpful AG. And I want him at 100%, but man, it feels good to have him back. I'm such a big AG fan, Mr. Nugget. So glad to have him in this episode, or in this game. Jamal Murray was not in the game. Again, he sat out, but this time he was at the game. So I hope that he felt a little bit embarrassed of not being at the game yesterday, and felt a little bad, and it kind of seemed like he was being forced to sit in this game a little bit, be with his teammates. And I hope that he's getting a talking to. You can't baby Jamal. I know that there's a little bit of love between him and Malone, especially they stuck with Jamal after Jamal got that big injury, and Jamal's been very grateful about that, but now he's acting like a spoiled kid. And I hope that they give him a talking to, because he needs it. But the Nuggets win again, 141 to 111. Let's get into the game here. So the Nuggets controlled the tap in the first quarter. Jokić starts off with a made 3, and then a steal. It was phenomenal start for the Nuggets. And of course it's Jokić, because you can't really expect anything less from Jokić. He's always going to bring his A game. It's more of the rest of the team that we're concerned about. And they definitely brought their A game tonight as well a little bit. CB did an alley-oop to MPJ to get the Nuggets first to 15. AG passed to MPJ, who did nothing, leading to a turnover. So MPJ having a little bit of spotty stuff here and there. Russ, though, passed to MPJ for a bunny hop dunk to get the Nuggets lead to 10. And then Strother got the Nuggets lead to 12 with a made three. He actually had a really good night tonight, Strother did. Nuggets got their lead up to as much as 17 in the first quarter, but still win the first quarter 38-23. Jokić in the first quarter alone, he had 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists in the first. Like, he's just on a rampage right now. I want to say, too, though, that MPJ, despite his ball watching a little bit, even in this game, he had a really good game tonight as well. He for a bit there in the first half, he was hanging around the same kind of numbers as Jokić, and then he just kind of got too tired or whatever, and he kind of held back. But he still had a good game in terms of MPJ, and it's those kind of games that we need more consistent of MPJ, and that's why last night I called out MPJ more than Jamal, because again, you can't fault Jamal for the Nuggets losing last night. He wasn't even there, so you can't fault him. You can fault him for other times, especially when he's at the game and having a crappy game himself. But for the games that he's not there, you can't fault him because he's not there. It's the team that's there that needs to be held accountable. And so far, MPJ has been hot and cold. He has had some really good games this season, some better games than he's ever had before, career highs. And yet he's still had some really horrible shit games. And so he needs to be more consistent. And he needs to break out more and show that he can hang with the best of the best. I want him to be more consistent throughout. So the second quarter, the Nuggets started off with a non-Jokić minutes, and sloppy defense allows the Atlanta to get a bucket. CB starts the Nuggets off, though, with a dunk, which is nice. Back-to-back buckets that includes a 3 from MPJ, gets the lead up to 20. So normally the bench minutes are horrendous, and we're all waiting with praying to the basketball gods that the Nuggets don't fall too far behind without Jokić. And this time they stepped up. They showed that they don't have to rely on Jokić. And that just also kind of annoys you a little bit. Like, we see that you can do it. Why aren't you doing it every single game? Like, this is just ridiculous. Bring this same intensity every single game. Don't have a horrible, embarrassing loss to then have to come back and show that you can actually play. Play every game like it matters, because it does. Do you want a chip or not? Like, this bench, man, it's so frustrating, but I'm glad that tonight they showed that they actually can ball and they can hoop. So, glad that they did that. So they got the lead up to 20. And then, though, always with the bated breath there, back-to-back Atlanta buckets with sloppy Nuggets defense, got the lead knocked down to 14. Then they bring back in Jokić, and Nuggets get up to the first to 50 points. Jokić gets fouled at the three-point line, and Atlanta challenges the call but is unsuccessful. And then MPJ has 9 points in the quarter and at this point is 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. Very close to Jokić, because remember, in the first quarter and up until this point, Jokić had sat out the entire second quarter almost, and he had 13 points, 7 rebounds. MPJ had 17 points, 7 rebounds. Jokić had 4 assists, MPJ had 3 assists. So MPJ was hanging around, and I loved seeing it. Jokić gets a bucket to bring the lead back up to 20. and then gets fouled, goes to the line for 2 more shots, gets the lead up to 22. Nance gets a dunk that's uncontested. Jokić heaves the ball from half court, making it close the second. Like, that was phenomenal. He loves doing a lot of circus shots, and man, it was like almost like a reminiscent of the Golden State Warrior game last year, where he made that halfway court from shot for to win the game. And he did that at the halfway point in this one. Like, amazing. He is just on another level. He is unmatched. And I love watching him play. I hope he stays a Nugget for the rest of his career. I'm sorry to anyone who feels like he's wasting his career right now at the Nuggets, but I love seeing him play in the Nuggets because I love the Nuggets, regardless of how crappy they play. So the Nuggets win the second quarter, 33-25. This has been something that we haven't seen yet. Them winning an entire half of a game. And they need to continue to play with that intensity. And Malone said it in a video tonight with the DPOG chain where Russell Westbrook won it. But he was telling them that it's much easier to carry out the rest of the game when you're up ahead rather than trying to battle back from behind. And so I hope that stays with them and they continue to play with that intensity. The big thing now, though, is that they don't play for another 4 days. And as history has taught us, the Nuggets tend to get rusty when they haven't been playing for a while. So hopefully that's not true, and hopefully they come firing back, because the next game that we have is against the Clippers in Denver, who they beat us the last time they were in Denver. So hopefully they don't sleep on this one. They don't get rusty, and they come out and attack it, and they win on Friday. So they went into the half up 71-48. Awesome to see. Then the third quarter starts, and Nuggets start the quarter off with a steal and a bucket from MPJ. Awesome start. AG and Brody both attack for a steal, and Brody gets the jump ball. Like, that's the kind of intensity that we need. We need more of that. Diving for the ball, trying as hard as you can, getting a little bit more aggressive, not afraid of getting a foul called on you. Like, that's the Nuggets that we need. So far, they've been so soft and so scared to get fouled or whatever. Like, get in there. Clearly, the other team doesn't care. Get in there. So we need to see more of that. That was really nice to see. And then Brody actually swats a ball. He blocked one, but he swatted it, and it luckily it landed in CB's hands, who kicks it down to MPJ, who then gets a bucket plus a one. So that was awesome. CB gets a 3-point shot that for a 30-point lead at this point in the third quarter. Atlanta gets aggressive and with offensive rebounds goes on a 12-2 run to cut the lead down to 20. They even at one point cut the lead down to 14. It was a little bit crazy, but Jokić comes battling back. Actually, Jalen Pickett was playing tonight too, and Jalen Pickett got his pocket picked by Dyson. It was very embarrassing because Dyson leads right now the league in steals, and he showed it again tonight with picking Jalen Pickett's pocket. Say that for 3 times fast. But Pickett actually, he had 5 points off the bench. Last time he had 0. So, he's been making 31 points in the G League. So if he can play with that kind of confidence in the NBA, we might be able to trade him, which is actually what I think is actually trying to happen right now. They're trying to get him more minutes along with Zeke so that they can possibly trade them come the trading period. So Jokić, though, gets a charging call, leading to Malone to challenge the call, and it is successful. Jokić goes to the foul line, actually, and gets an and one. Jokić gets the Nuggets first to 100, which was awesome. Jokić also goes to the line again and gets him to 40 points. Atlanta wins the third by 1 point, 36-35. And then fourth quarter, Julian starts the quarter off with a made 3. Awesome to see. Nuggets start the quarter off with non-Jokić minutes again. P. Watt gets his first bucket in the fourth, which is... ever since Piwat hasn't been starting, he's not been playing well. And that's the kind of thing that like worries me and also kind of makes me feel okay if we have to trade him, because he's just one of the very inconsistent players that we have right now. And so like it was nice to see him get a bucket, but at the same time, like all the way in the fourth, that's a little bit worrisome. So he gets his first bucket in the game with an and one, but misses the and one. Trae Young gets Hawks to 100, and man, we had Trae Young held to 3 points for the majority of the game, and then in the fourth game, he gets a 12-point run and actually ends the game with 15 points. So he actually gets into double digits. We almost made it so that he didn't have more than 3 points. And in the fourth quarter, he just went off and started sinking threes after three after three. And that was the biggest challenge I think the Nuggets had, was him making shots all of a sudden. And then also Nance, too, because so the Hawks cut the lead down to 19, and Nance shoots an uncontested three that fortunately misses, but you can see Malone, when this happens, you can even see Malone yelling in agony to defend while everyone else just ball watches. This is, again, I've been saying it every single episode. The Nuggets are not contesting threes. They're just standing there and watching. And even though this was a 30-point win tonight, that is unacceptable. Stop watching people shoot threes. Like, it's not okay. Jokić, though, finishes with 48 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists. Just 2 assists short of a triple-double, a massive triple-double. Hunter Tyson gets the Nuggets lead back to 30, which was nice. Zeke gets a bucket and an and one, but misses. And then the Nuggets, so again, the bench still holding their own a little bit. Everyone made shots, I think, tonight. I don't think anyone came away with this 0. We'll look at the stats here, but I'm pretty sure no one missed or didn't make any shots at all. I think everyone made at least one bucket tonight, so that's nice. The Nuggets win the fourth, 35-27, and they win the game 141-111. So we'll get into stats right after this. Hey everyone, if you're looking for a game-changing webcam that keeps up with every move, you've got to check out the Insta360 link. It's a 4K AI-powered webcam that auto-tracks so you're always in frame, even if you're moving around. Perfect for live streams, meetings, content creating, also podcasts. It adjusts to light, zooms in and out, and follows you naturally. This is hands-free, hassle-free, studio-quality production for anyone who wants professional visuals right from the desk. Insta360 Link is a total game changer. And we're back. All right, so stats here. We have Michael Porter Jr. played 35 minutes tonight, made 26 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 12 for 17 in field goals, 1 for 5 in 3 points, 1 for 1 in free throws, 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls, was a plus 15. This is the kind of game that we need to see more of from him. Aaron Gordon played 22 minutes, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 block, was 1 for 6 in field goals, 0 for 4 in threes, 4 for 5 in free throws, 3 turnovers, 1 personal foul, was a plus 17. And I think the majority of that came from his defense. Like I've said before, the Nuggets' main defense comes from Aaron Gordon as well as Brody. Like those two are the lead, and also Jokić. I disagree with people saying that Jokić can't defend, because he can. Speaking of, Jokić played 35 minutes tonight, so that's awesome. He's not playing, 38 or whatever. Made 48 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, 17 for 29 in field goals, 3 for 6 in three-pointers, 11 for 13 in free throws. He had 3 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, was a plus 25. Christian Braun played 32 minutes, had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 7 for 11 in field goals, 2 for 2 in three-pointers, 1 for 2 in free throws, 1 turnover, and 3 personal fouls, was a plus 34. Westbrook had played 30 minutes, had 9 points, 1 rebound, 11 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 4 for 6 in field goal, 1 for 3 in three-pointers, 0 for 1 in free throws, 4 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a plus 12. And then Strother tonight, and yeah, like I said, for the bench, everyone made a bucket tonight who played. That's awesome. Strother, just to point one out, he had 13 points off the bench, 2 rebounds, played 21 minutes, 3 assists, 5 for 6 in field goals, 3 for 4 in three-pointers, 3 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a -2. So he was the only negative of the team, but he still had very effective minutes. Overall, we had 43 rebounds to their 45, so we got out-rebounded by 2. We had 43 assists to their 26. And remember, if you don't know, Trae Young leads the league in assists. And tonight, because Jokić was in there, they held their assists down to 26, which is awesome. We had 9 steals to their 12, and again, that's mainly because of Daniels, or Dyson Daniels there. And so, and then 5 blocks to their 2, and then we had 62% in field goals. They had 40%. And one thing with the Hawks tonight, a lot of why they lost tonight, I feel like, is that they were trying too hard for three-pointers and just not making them. If they had actually tried to get more paint in the paint buckets, they probably could have hanged in there a little bit more. But they were just trying too hard for those three-pointers, and this is one of those instances where trying too hard for three-pointers can bite you in the ass. So I was actually glad to see that, and I hope that they learned from that. We had 44% in three-pointers. They had 22%. We shot 70% from the free throw line. They shot 74%. We had 18 turnovers to their 12, 22 personal fouls to their 22. So we tied in there. And yeah, I mean, like I said before, they need to clean up the turnovers. The Nuggets do. And they need to focus better on their free throws. When they can make free throws, when they can get to the line and actually, take advantage of going to the line and actually capitalize on it, then it works for them, and they can actually rally a big lead like today, as well as when they make threes. Because, like I said before, the league has changed ever since Curry got into the league. It has changed into this way of everyone wanting to be a Curry and shoot threes. It's not great, and I think it's definitely a reason why the league is losing viewership. But in this ever-growing game and everything, you need to be up there with 3-point shot makers. And luckily we have Jokić, and luckily when Strother's hot, he's really good at threes. So and we had our biggest win, I want to say in the last 2 years. This is our biggest win, and it happened without Jamal Murray. Our most embarrassing loss happened without Jamal Murray. Our best win happened without Jamal Murray. So again, I don't think Jamal Murray is a factor. I think you can take him in or out, and the Nuggets are. You need to hold the rest of the Nuggets accountable. If he's playing and we're losing, it's not his fault. It's the rest of the team's fault. Like, he will definitely add as part of it, but it's the rest of the team's fault as well. You got to hold the rest of the team accountable. I know he's making a lot of money, but I don't fault him for making a lot of money, because why would you? It's the system. The system's offering him that money. Wouldn't you accept that money as well? Blame Calvin Booth for offering that money rather than him accepting it. So I still have strong feelings about Jamal Murray. I am upset at him, but at the same time, it's about different things. I don't think I'm seeing eye to eye a lot with a lot of the Jamal Murray haters right now. I think for me, it's more of the fact of his just lack of care right now and his disrespect for the team. So it was good to see that he was on the bench tonight, though, at least supporting the team. So we'll get into takeaways after this. As a cinematographer, photographer, and now a podcaster, I do believe lighting is everything. And if you're serious about creating dynamic content, you need to check out Nanlite. They're all about precision and control. Whether it's soft, natural lighting or vibrant colors, Nanlite gives you full flexibility to set the mood for any scene. From compact LEDs to powerful softboxes, Nanlite has light solutions that fit every setup. It's ideal for photographers, like myself, videographers, like myself, and creators who want to pro-grade quality right out on their fingertips. With Nanlite, you're lighting like a pro every time. And we're back. So, big takeaway is this is exactly what happened when the Knicks got embarrassed by Utah earlier this season. And they came into Denver and embarrassed us with a 27-point win over us. And now we did it to the Hawks, and only we upped that to 30. So it's a crazy thing with this league. You have a horrible loss, and when you have a horrible loss, you kind of want to have this kind of answer to that loss. You need to crush the next opponent. And unfortunately, it might be an opponent that you don't really have bad blood with, but you got to make a point to the rest of the league. So I'm glad that the Nuggets got a big win like this, and it wasn't just by marginal points. It was a big blowout win tonight. I was kind of hoping that they would have held them under 100, but we'll take the 30-point win regardless, and 141 points. That's amazing. So great win for the Nuggets tonight. I hope that they continue on. Again, they're going to be on a break now for 4 days while the in-season tournament kicks out the knockout round games now. So I'll probably try to get back in on some episodes before then, though, maybe get some more movie critiquing in. And like I said before, the next game that they do have is on Friday against the Clippers in Denver. And then I think there's like a day or two that they have break, and then they go over to Sacramento. And that'll be our first regular season meetup with Sacramento this season. So, and we've always had a challenge winning in their building and against them specifically. So hopefully we can get a win against them and the Clippers. It'd be nice to go on a little winning streak here. So that's all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like and subscribe. Share it out to your friends and family. And you've been watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. We'll catch you later.